This is part 2 of the videos concerning how the beast will not come in the future but has already come. I'm going to continue reading in 2 Thessalonians in chapter 2, starting at verse 9. The coming of the lawless one is by the activity of Satan with all power and false signs and wonders, and with all wicked deception for those who are perishing, because they refuse to love the truth and so be saved. Nero committed atrocities against Christians and carried out immense persecution to the point of nailing Christians up on crosses, covering their bodies in flammable substance, and lighting them on fire. It was just unbelievably wicked, the things he would do. And this is the type of wicked activity that the beast commits. He's coming by the activity with Satan. It's very wicked things that he carries out against the people of God. And he deceived many people and led them astray as they decided to worship him instead of Yahweh. What's fascinating is that in the book of Revelation, his number, the beast's number, is 666. And if you take 666 and use Hebrew and Greek to decipher what that means, you can actually come out with Nero's name. Nero's name in Greek is Neron Kaiser, and when you transliterate that into Hebrew, the Hebrew letters, and add those letters up, it equates to 666. And there's an alternate spelling of Neron Kaiser that will have an alternate combination of Hebrew letters that add up to 616, and there are actually manuscripts that instead of recording 666 as the number, they actually say 616. So some manuscripts of Revelation actually have 616 instead of 666, but both of those numbers work to demonstrate that it's Nero's number. They both come out with Nero's name because they both are the addition of the Hebrew letters for different Greek renderings of Nero's name that are transliterated into Hebrew and then added up to these numbers in order to demonstrate that it's Nero. Hebrew letters have numerical values attached to them. There's in the Hebrew, for people speaking Hebrew back then, there was not a different numeric system apart from the letters of their alphabet like we have. We have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and different symbols than we do for our letters that we use to compose words. But for Hebrew speakers back then, the Hebrew letters also had a numerical value. So when you take these Hebrew letters in Neron Kaiser and add them up, each numeric assignment for each letter adds up to 666 or 616. And that's very strong evidence that this is actually Nero. This is very strong evidence that Nero is the beast. And it can't be ignored. It should not be ignored. So this is my briefer second video to conclude this 2-part series. And we should learn to interpret Scripture correctly and not interpret things literally that were never meant to be taken literally. There's a lot of prophetic, symbolic, metaphorical language used in Scripture in the Old Testament and then also in the New Testament, especially in the book of Revelation. And we need to understand what those symbols mean and how they're used in the Old Testament so that we can understand what the New Testament is actually saying.